a good story about, is it Liam Gallagher?
Oh man, yeah.
So looking forward to this.
Right. Okay. Well, there's a lot of different elements to it, so I'll try and get them in order. So this it's not necessarily the kind of night out that I would typically have, but nonetheless, one evening in London, I went out with Miles Kane, Liam Gallagher, Liam's lesser-known brother Paul Gallagher, who definitely doesn't have a chip on his shoulder about being the one brother not in Oasis. Leighton Baines, and who else was it? I can't remember. There was someone else there. Anyway, we were in London and we went to see Jack White play. Solo show at Alexandra Palace. Rachel was with me as well, but I mean, Rachel's often with me, so that's so we went out and we met at some bar beforehand, and Liam was in a very excitable mood. I like Liam a lot because he provokes people, which I find funny, but also he is quite a genuine guy. I mean, he's quite sweet. Like, he'll say stupid things sometimes, but underneath it all, he's actually like, behind all the kind of like ego and like grand statements, whatever, he's actually pretty funny and sweet and he's himself. But nonetheless, he can be a difficult person to have in a crowd. Or difficult when lots of other people are around, because I suppose he sometimes he wants people to know he's there. So he was drinking espresso. The first thing I remember was I went into this bar and he was drinking espresso martinis, and he got right up in my face, like about a centimeter away from my face, and he said, he was pointing at it, these espresso martinis, they're better than crack. And he was really sort of like adamant that I have one. I don't drink very often. So anyway, that was a sort of like, it was an indication that the evening, he was intent on making the evening a memorable one. So we went to Alexandra.
Were you meeting him there, or did you just bump into him?
We met him at a bar beforehand.
Oh, sorry, right, okay.
And then from there we went to Alexandra Palace. So okay, we had a few espresso martinis, and then we went on to Alexandra Palace, and we walked in. And we were watching. So Jack White was about to start, and we watched Liam sort of like the support band were on, and Liam disappeared. Liam Paul Gallagher disappeared, and we couldn't find them. And whatever, we thought, okay, that's weird. That he was here 1 minute, he's gone. Maybe something happened. Maybe he just got bored. Whatever. So we watched the whole gig, and it was good. Jack White's always good. Like, whether you like his music or not, he's got his own thing going, and it's cool. And we went to the after party, and I saw Liam out of the corner of my eye on the other side of a window. And he was outside, and he was gesturing for me to sort of like unlock this fire door to let him in. And it turned out the reason he disappeared was the second we'd got in there and we were watching the support band, he decided that he wanted to go meet Jack White, and he wanted to go into the backstage area, like before the show, and just sort of like get in everyone's face. And what had happened was he walked straight into Jack White's dressing room. And the first thing he said to him was, "You look like one of those Amish in that hat." Jack White was in a period of wearing those big hats, and he made his whole touring crew wear them and everything. So Liam goes straight in there and goes, "You look like one of the Amish." And within 5 seconds, Jack White had his entire security team escort Liam and his brother off the premises. And they were not to be allowed back in for the whole thing. So Liam was trying to get me to sneak him back in because he'd been kicked out after about 5 seconds.
Did you get him back in?
No. I mean, to be honest, there were so many funny things about that evening, but just the fact that he lasted 5 seconds at the show, I thought was really funny. It was like, I mean, Leighton Baines couldn't believe his eyes, because he was like, he's really into music, Leighton. So it's like, you know, it's obviously, being a Premiership footballer, it's weirder because, like, you know, you must meet famous people all the time and you go to those kind of things, but he's not, you know, to him it was like, wow, there's one of Oasis here, you know, like, I mean, it was just such a different world for him seeing, and then you know, and seeing the way Liam was behaving, it was like every sort of like cliche about being in a band was true, and he was witnessing it firsthand.